Good afternoon, everyone. Today we will go for the anatomy of the ureter. Ureters are tube made up of smooth muscles that propel the urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. Okay, these are the two in number, and these are the muscular tubes. Okay, smooth muscular tubes that propels the urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. It is also said as the ureters are the ducts that convey the urine from the kidney to the bladder. And these are pair narrow, thick-walled muscular tubes which conveys urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. They lie deep to the peritoneum, closely applied to the posterior abdominal wall, in that mainly the psoas major muscle. Okay, the ureter is mainly divided as a two parts. One is abdominal part, another one is pelvic part. Okay, abdominal part means which is present in the abdomen. Pelvic part means which is present in the pelvis of the body. Okay, that is from the brim where it is crosses the bifurcation of the common iliac artery. Okay, right and left iliac artery, and it is further bifurcation of the iliac artery, external iliac artery and internal iliac artery, where it is crosses the iliac artery. Okay, external iliac artery. Okay, from here it starts the pelvic part, and above that is abdominal part. The abdominal part length of the ureter and pelvic part length of the ureter, it is almost same. Okay, there is almost same. The upper half is 5 inch and lower half is 5 inch, or upper half is 12 centimeter, lower half is 12 to 15 in centimeter. Okay, and it is has a 3 to 5 mm in diameter. Okay, ureter it has a 3 to 5 mm in diameter. Okay, it is begins within the renal sinus. Okay, it is funnel shaped dilation. It is called as a renal pelvis. Okay, it starts at the during the anatomy of the kidney I told what is the renal sinus and what is the renal pelvis. Okay, renal pelvis is formed by the junction of a major calyxes of the kidney, and it starts at the renal sinus. Okay, and it is funnel shaped. Okay, renal pelvis in as a funnel shaped dilation, it called as a renal pelvis. And how you identify? It is a medial border of the kidney. Okay, in that hilum of the kidney, where the hilum is ends. Okay, just from there the renal pelvis, or you can say as a ureter, was start, and where the hilum and upper end of the hilum of the medial border, in that hilum of the kidney is ends, upper end of that their adrenal gland was starts. Here the hilum is ends, from here the ureter was starts. Okay, in the lower end of the hilum. Okay, at the medial border of the kidney. Okay, it is total length is up to the 25 to 30 centimeter. Most of time it is a 25 centimeter in length. Okay, and these are two in numbers. The ureter begins within the renal sinus as a funnel shaped dilation, is called as a renal pelvis, and it is move downwards along with the medially along with the psoas major muscle. Okay, and it crosses the iliac artery and enters the pelvic brim. Here in the pelvic brim, it is downwards and follows the sciatic notch to the axial tuberosity. Further that it goes forwards and obliquely towards the, can say here forwards and downwards and obliquely towards the urinary bladder, and it is opens in the urinary bladder laterally, okay, at the base of the trigone or base of the urinary bladder. Okay, you can go for the next slide. The ureter, it is a nothing but a pair narrow thick walled muscular tube which conveys the urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. Okay, it is mainly, ureter is divided into two parts. One is the abdominal part, another one is the pelvic part. It also has some constructions. Okay, anatomically there are 3 constructions, and surgically there are 5 constrictions or narrowings. Okay, you can go for next slides. In that I will explain everything. Introduction of the ureter. It is a tube that carries the urine down from the kidney to the bladder. Size of the ureter 25 cm to 30 cm, and the diameter is 3 to 5 mm in diameter. It is expand up to the 7 mm or 8 mm. Okay, ureter is muscular tube extend from the corresponding kidney to the posterior surface of the urinary bladder. The urine is propelled along the ureters by the peristaltic contraction of their muscular wall, aided by the filtration pressure of the glomerulus. The small amount of urine are emptied into the urinary bladder from ureters about every 10 to 15 seconds. Okay. Now, ureter are the pair narrow thick walled muscular tube which conveys the urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. Lies deep to the peritoneum, closely applied to the posterior abdominal wall in the upper part of the lateral pelvic part in the lower part, in mainly psoas major muscle in upper part, and to the lateral pelvic part in the lower part. Dimensions: length is approximately 25 cm and diameter is 3 to 5 in mm. Structures of ureter. It is by the it has 3 coatings. Okay, it has outer, middle and inner. Outer is supported layer of the fibrous connective tissue. Middle, it is a muscular layer. In that also 2 type of muscles. There is inner is circular and outer is longitudinal. Okay, and inner is mucosal. Okay, in the middle layer or muscular layer consists of inner circular and outer longitudinal smooth muscles composed of largely smooth muscle fibers. The main function is this layer is peristaltics to propel the urine. These muscles help in the peristalsis and helps in the propel the urine from the conveys the urine from the kidney to the bladder. The inner layer is the mucous coat or mucosal layer. Is transitional epithelium that is continuous with the lining of the renal tubules and the urinary bladder. These are the 3 coats or layers of the ureter. Okay, one is inner is mucosal, middle is muscular, outer is fibrous layer. Outer is fibrous connective tissue. Next, we can go for the next slide. There are anatomically there are three constrictions. Okay, constrictions means narrow parts. Okay, anatomically, surgically there are 5 constrictions. Okay, first constriction at the PU junction. P means pelvic, U means ureter. PU junctions means pelvic ureteric junction. First renal pelvic joins the ureter. Second constriction where it crosses the pelvic brim. Pelvic brim means it is a outer edge or where the inlet of pelvic is start. Okay, that is the and or pelvic brim. Pelvic is a one bone. Okay, it look like a pelvic means basin like. Pelvic word means basin like. The outer brim means outer edge of the pelvic, and where this ureter was enters, there is another one constriction is there. Second constriction is crosses the where the pelvic brim. Third, where the it is PU junction or UV junction. U means ureter, V means vesicle. Vesicle means bladder. Okay, it is also say as a cyst. Vesicle cyst means urinary bladder. PV junction. PV junction means where the UV junction. UV junction means where the ureter and vesicle will joins. Okay, these are the 3 main constructions, anatomical construction of a ureter. First one is at the pelvic urethral junction. Second one is at the brim of the lesser pelvis. And third one is the UV junction, means it passes through the bladder wall. Okay, next we can go further. You can see here, this is the PU junction. P means pelvic, means renal pelvic. U means ureter. Where the pelvic, renal pelvic and ureter junction is there is one junction. Second one is here where the pelvic brim, it passes the pelvic brim. Third one is where the UV junction, uretero-vesical junction. These are 3 construction, and there are another 2 construction are where the one is iliac arteries passes and where the vas deferens was crosses. There are further 2 constructions. These are the surgical constructions. In this we can see the what are the further constructions of the ureter. These are see as a according to surgical anatomy, there are 5 constructions. One is PU junction, UV junction, where the middle means there is a pelvic brim. Okay, from where the abdominal ureter and pelvic ureter joints. Okay, and you can length of the whole ureter, when you go for the parts, the abdominal ureter and pelvic ureter, the length of the abdominal ureter and length of the pelvic ureter are the almost same, mostly 12 to 15 in centimeter. Okay, and the additional above 3 sites of construction, further 2 more sites of construction are described by the surgeons at the juxtaposition of the vas deferens or broad ligament. Vas deferens in the male and broad ligament in the females, where you can see in this picture. Okay, this is a vas deferens, okay, that crosses the ureter. Okay, and this is the another one construction of a ureter. Okay, and further one is where the common iliac artery passes, or we can say as a ureteric orifice. This is a PU junction, UV junction. These are the further 2 constructions of a ureter. You can go for the next slide. Now you can go for the course of a urinary ureter. Okay, the ureter begins within in the renal sinus as a renal pelvis. Okay, you can see here in this picture clearly. You can see in this picture clearly. This is a renal sinus and this is a PV junction. It is moved downwards and towards the medially along with the, this is the psoas major muscle. Okay, little bit medial to the psoas major muscle, and it is enters the pelvic brim. Here it is a pelvic brim is there. You can see here this is a pelvic bone. This is pubic symphysis. You can see this is a pelvic bone. Here it is a pelvic brim is there. Okay, like that. You also identify where the sacroiliac joint. This is the sacrum. Here is the iliac joint. Okay, from here sacroiliac joint, it enters the sacroiliac joint. Okay, from there it starts the pelvic part. Okay, it enters the pelvis by crossing in front of the termination of a common iliac artery. Okay, this is a common iliac artery. It is terminated. Okay, and it forms the external iliac artery and internal iliac artery. From here it is entered in the pelvic. Okay, after entering the pelvic, it reaches the base of the bladder. You can see this is the base of bladder. First it is moved downwards and medially. Further it moves along with the sciatic notch to the ischial tuberosity, along with that obliquely. After that it moves obliquely towards the base of the bladder. Okay, after entering the pelvis, it reaches the base of the bladder and it enters the bladder wall obliquely and open into the lateral angle of trigon. Okay, can go for the next slide. In that, this ureter is further divides into parts as a 3 parts. It is mainly 2 parts, but according to some, they can divides as a 2 parts. One is pelvis part. It is in the kidney. Renal pelvis part, and then abdominal part, then pelvic part. Like that we makes the 3 parts of the ureter. Now we can go for the first part of the part. Okay, in that you can see here I already told. Okay, this is a pelvic brim or inlet of a pelvic. Okay, above this is the abdominal part, and from here it is a pelvic part. The length of the abdominal and pelvic portion are almost equal in length. Okay. In that we can study the pelvis part. Pelvis part means in the renal, where the major calyxes, first minor calyxes joins together and forms the major calyxes. Major calyxes joins together and forms the funnel shaped dilation. Okay, that part is as a renal pelvis. Okay, you can easily identify the ureter where the hilum. Okay, hilum is present at the medial border of the kidney. Where the hilum ends, just below that start the ureter. Okay, in upper end, medial border at the upper end, where the upper hilum is ends, and just above that there is adrenal gland or start. This is our landmark for the identification of a ureter. This is a hilum. Hilum is the inlet and outlet of the kidney. Okay, passage of the kidney, and this forms the renal pelvis. Okay, and this is a ureter. Okay, and another one is the renal pelvis. In the renal sinuses, branches of renal vessels lies in both in front and behind it, outside the kidney. Another one anteriorly on the right side. Okay, in renal pelvis there are renal vessels and the second part of the duodenum is present. Okay, another one thing in the renal pelvis. Okay, the pelvis issue from the hilus of the kidney descends along its medial margin and partly behind it. Gradually it narrows till at the lower end of the kidney, and it becomes the ureter proper. Okay, and it is look like how renal pelvis is look like. It is a look like a funnel shaped. Okay, and it is becomes begins within the renal sinus as a funnel shaped dilation. Okay, then this pelvis issues from the hilus or hilum of the kidney and descends along its, okay, it descends along it their medial margin or partly behind, and this is a medial border of the kidney. Just below the medial border of the kidney or just below the hilus of the kidney there is a starting of the ureter. It gradually narrows till at the lower end of the kidney and becomes the ureter properly. Okay, and it is how it is the pelvic part. This is funnel shaped dilation at the upper part formed by the union of the major calyxes, passes downwards and medially through the hilum, and capacity of this pelvic part, this is 5 to 7 ml. You can go for the next slide. Then we can go for the abdominal part. Okay, after the continuation of a renal pelvis ureter, okay, the ureter passes downwards and slightly medially on the according to the psoas major muscle or just medial to the psoas major muscle, and enters the pelvis by crossing in front of the termination of the common iliac artery. Okay, by that only we can understand the how the and length of the abdominal part of the ureter and length of the pelvic part of the ureter are almost same. Okay, it is passes downwards and medially by passing the beneath the peritoneum and along with the psoas major muscle, and enter the pelvic cavity by crossing the termination of the common iliac artery. You can see in this picture. Okay, it is passes downwards and along with, you can see like that, it enters the in the pelvic part of the ureter. Okay, entering the pelvic cavity by crossing the termination of a common iliac artery, and it is first of all the abdominal the pelvic parts, it is downwards beneath the peritoneum along with the greater sciatic notch and reaches the ischial spine. From ischial spine it is move obliquely towards the urinary bladder. Okay, then it opens into the trigon. Okay, first of all the ureter, okay, it is from the, it is as a true pelvis. Okay, in the true pelvis the ureter at first runs downwards, okay, and slightly backwards and laterally following the anterior margin of the greater sciatic notch. Okay, then opposite the ischial spine it runs forwards and medially to reach the base of the urinary bladder. You can see here. Okay, from here move downwards, okay, and backwards and laterally from the greater notch and greater sciatic notch. From there opposite to the ischial spine. Okay, along this is a from greater sciatic notch to this is a ischial spine, like that it will move. Then it is move obliquely. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Okay, you can in this you can say this is the first part, start here in the this pelvic part. Okay, part of the ureter, it is further divided into three parts. One is from the where it is termination or where it is crosses the common iliac artery or termination of common iliac artery. From here to here, this much, this is the first part, means where the opposite to the ischial tuberosity. From here it is move obliquely. Okay, it is move backwards downwards, backwards, and laterally. That's the first part. From here it is move obliquely towards the base of the bladder. This part is says from second to here. And the third part is intramural. Intramural means that is inside the bladder, or in the which is opens in the ureter enters the bladder wall. That is the third part. Like that we can divide the ureter as a pelvic ureter as a 3 parts. Okay, or first, second, then this is the third. Okay, this is a like that we can divide. Okay, first how it is in the pelvis, the ureter is first runs. How in pelvic, first it is runs downwards, backwards, and laterally. Okay, downwards, backwards, and laterally. Okay, and it enters the just opposite to the atrial tuberosity. It runs forwards. Okay, then it is move reaches the or it is runs obliquely. Okay, obliquely, and reaches the urinary bladder. Okay, like that this is move. Okay, this is the pelvic part of the ureter. You can go for the next slide. In this pelvic part, in that first part, in pelvic, in that first part, okay, it is downwards beneath the portion of the along the sciatic notch to the ischial spine. This much it is a first part. From termination of the iliac artery or internal iliac artery here to from the opposite to ischial spine. This is the first part. Okay, first part. It is downwards, backwards, and laterally, and along the greater sciatic notch. Okay, and reaches the opposite to the ischial spine. This much it is a first part. Okay, then second part is from the second part is a oblique, or you can say it is move obliquely towards the bladder. Okay, second part it is a oblique part, then it moves forwards and medially through the extraperitoneal tissue, reaches the superior lateral angle of the bladder, and it is 5 cm from opposite ureter. The what is that you can see here, this is a superior lateral angle, and distance between this ureteric opening means left ureteric opening and right ureteric opening, and this angle, the distance supra-ureterolateral angle, okay, forms, and distance between these two ureter, it is a 5 cm. Okay, and these are opens at the base of the bladder. Okay, can go for the next slide. Here in this, see the how it is move obliquely from second to third. Okay, this is here atrial tuberosity, and it is moves oblique. Okay, oblique to the urinary bladder. Okay, and this is the two openings. There is a 5 cm distance between the opposite one. Now third part is also says the intramural part or intravesical part, because you can see here, this is a bladder, this is a whole thing is bladder, and this is a intravesical part. This is the intravesical part. Vesicle means bladder, and it is how it is open in, or it can also say intramural part, and the muscle covering, or how it is open in the bladder. Okay, it presses the musculature of the bladder, undergoes obliquely, and courses downwards and medially through bladder, and open into the interior of the bladder, in that the base of the trigone. Okay, trigone is a functional unit of a bladder.
Now we can go for the anatomical location of ureter in the male. Okay, there is some difference is there in between the male and female. What are the difference is there, we can go through that. Okay, in male the ureter enters the pelvis by crossing the bifurcation of the common iliac artery in front of the sacroiliac joint, and each ureter then runs downwards the lateral iliac artery to the region of the ischial spine. Okay, along with the lateral iliac artery it will move downwards and turns forwards to enter the lateral angle of the bladder. Okay, this is in commonly it is in the male. In the female, what is the difference is there, here also in the starting ureter crosses the over pelvic inlet in front of the bifurcation of the common iliac artery. After that it runs downwards backwards in front of the internal iliac artery and behind the ovary, okay, unit it, and reaches the region of the ischial spine. Then it runs forwards and medially beneath the base of the broad ligament, okay, where it is crossed by the uterine artery. Okay, it is very important to know the how it is base of the broad ligament to it crosses the urinary artery, because during the surgery of the abdominal hysterectomy or vaginal hysterectomy, in that time when you go for the near the cervix of the dissection of near the cervix of the ureter, cervix of the uterus, in that time you save or you know the perfect anatomy of the ureter, because if you don't know there is some chances to injure the ureter. Because of that you know the how the course of the ureter difference in the male and female. Here it is have along with the base of the broad ligament, it comes towards the medially and it crosses the uterine artery. During the ligation of the uterine artery, sometimes there is a injury to the ureter. Then ureter then runs forwards laterally to the fornix of the vagina to the enter the bladder. Okay, you can see here in this picture clearly. Okay, it is crosses the what termination of the common iliac artery, along with it is just behind the, this is the ovary. Okay, this is the ovary, just behind that it is present ovary along with the internal iliac artery or lateral iliac artery. After that it enters the base, okay, or root of the broad ligament. You can see the root of the broad ligament. You can in next picture you can see here. Okay, you can see this is a broad ligament. Okay, this is the iliac artery. Okay, this is, you can see this is a, you can see this is here it is comes ureter. Okay, and this is, you can see as a, this is a ureter. Okay, from the root of the broad ligament like that it will comes, and this is the uterine artery. Okay, uterine artery causes the what, ureter. And sometimes this is when we go for the dissection of a cervix, there is sometimes cutting of the or injury to the this ureter was happened. It passes below the root of the broad ligament, lateral to the lateral fornix, okay, lateral fornix of vagina, and is crosses superiorly by the uterine artery. Okay, now we can go for the relation to the ureter on right side and the left side. There are pair of ureters. Right side is different and left side is different. You can see here in the psoas major muscle. This is the psoas major muscle. Okay, posterior abdominal. and this is a pelvis, okay, and parietal peritoneum, and this is a right gonadal vessel, also it is crosses the ureter, okay, and right and left colic vessels also passes. You can go for the right side, okay, and right side parietal peritoneum, right gonadal vessel, second and third part of the duodenum, right colic and ileocolic vessels, root of the mesentery at the in that towards the end of the root of mesentery, okay, in that towards the ileocecal junction is there, towards that root of the mesentery and terminal part of the ileum. On the left side parietal peritoneum, left gonadal vessels, left colic sigmoid vessels and apex of the sigmoid mesocolon. You can see here, okay, how the relation, this is the right side, right kidney, right ureter, and this is a left ureter. The right ureter, renal pelvis and ureter, upper part of the ureter, there is a duodenum. Then you can got the gonadal vessel, this is a gonadal vessel, okay, then you can, this is the right colic vessel, okay, then ileocolic vessels, and this is the root of the mesentery, okay, this is the towards the right side. On the left side, okay, there is the, this is a gonadal vessel, and this is the left colic vessel, and these are the sigmoidal vessels, and this is the mesocolon, okay, or sigmoid mesocolon, like that relation to the anterior relations to the ureter. And when posterior relationship is almost same to the both the side, okay, one is psoas major muscle and fascia of that major muscle, then genitofemoral nerve and tips of the transverse processes, okay, you can see this is the psoas major muscle and their fascia, genitofemoral nerve and tips of transverse processes. Blood supply of the ureter, okay, the segmental blood supply from nearly all the visceral branches of the anterior division of the internal iliac artery. A venous drainage corresponds to the arteries. The arterial supply of the ureter varies according to the individual and also along the length of the ureter branches may be received from all over the following. First by the at the pelvis and upper part of the head, that is renal arteries, then branches of the abdominal artery, then branches of the common iliac artery, then ovarian artery or testicular or gonadal arteries, then internal iliac artery, then vesical arteries or uterine artery, then the gonadal. You can see here very easily according to segment. Here the renal pelvis, by the, this is the renal artery, branches of the renal artery, then branches of the aorta, okay, then branches of the gonadal artery, from abdominal aorta and gonadal artery, then branches of the common iliac artery, then branches of the internal iliac artery, then branches of the superior vesical arteries, okay, like that's the blood supply of the ureter, and venous drainage correspond to the respective arteries. The lymphatic drainage from the lower part drain into the external and internal iliac lymph nodes. The upper part means abdominal part into the lumbar lymph nodes. Nerve supply sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic by the hypogastric and pelvic plexus, parasympathetic by the sacral plexus. Sympathetic in the T10, T12 and L1, parasympathetic by the S2 and S4. Ureter as a surgical point of view. First, or you can go for the applied anatomy of a ureter. First is ureteric calculi. Depends on the where it is a ureter calculi or obstruction is there. According to that, there is a hydronephrosis, collection of a fluid in the ureter or I can say as a hydronephrosis or grading of a nephrosis. The calculi are not formed in the ureter. Always calculi are occur or formed with the kidney only. The always renal calculi are renal origin. Nature of stone is the same as a renal stone, commonly in elongated shape. Okay, sites of calculus in ureter. Okay, can say where it is most of time they are obstructed, because this is a ureter is 3 to 5 mm in diameter. Up to 7 mm or up to 8 mm it will expand. Up to that the stone will come into the bladder. But there is some construction is there. I already told constructions of a ureter. Anatomically 3 and surgically 5. One is PU junction, PV junction, and where the UV junction, where the pelvic brim is there, where the iliac artery is crossed, and where the gonadal vas deferens was crossed. They are like that 5 construction there. According to that, or we also say PV junction, mid half or upper 1/3, and UV junction, like that also you can go for that. And sites of calculus in ureter, most of time the calculus are obstructed from the PU junction, means pelvic ureteric junction. Ureter crosses the iliac vessel, where the iliac vessel is crosses, ureter is crosses the iliac vessel, and ureter crosses the vas deferens or juxta peritoneal junction. Then or in the female that is a broad ligament. Okay, and ureter penetrates the outer layer of the bladder muscle, that is UV junction. Problem with the ureteric stones, there is obstruction, hydronephrosis, there is infection, impaction, and urethral strictures. Investigations can be done to rule out the ureteric problems or abnormal pathology. One is urine microscopy, culture and sensitivity of urine, blood urea, serum creatinine, calcium, uric acid level, and ultrasonography, plain X-ray of QB, IVU, IVP, CT scan, MRI, RGP, and tomography. These are the some investigations can be done for the rule out the ureteric problem. Nuclear sonography, renal angiography, micturietory, cytourethrography, ascending urethrogram, and isotope renography. Then some urethral abnormality and diseases. First one is a ectopic urethral orifice, urethrocoel, urethric calculi, TB of the ureter, traumatic injury, urethral atresia, duplication of ureter, urethrocoel, ectopic urethral orifice. These are the some congenital anomalies of urethral abnormality and diseases. Why the surgical anatomy of ureter is essential during the treatment? To know the which treatment we can go for the where it is a stone is there, and which treatment is applicable. It is because of that we can go for that. If upper 1/3 ureter is involved, then you can go for the flesh therapy, ESWL, PCNL, URS, and urethrolithotomy. If middle, flush and URS and urethrolithotomy. If lower, flush, URS, Dromia basket, ureteric myotomy, and urethrolithotomy. Because of that we can go for this. Now thank you very much.